Hello, every pony! Today I'm going to explain a theory that's very near and dear to the hearts of the ny'all lovers. I'm assuming, I don't actually know. But anyways, it's a theory that Jade and Floyd may have had a hand in their siblings' demise. I'm not going to get graphic at all in this video, but we are going to be discussing potential murder and the semantics of cannibalism, so if that's not your thing, I'll see you some other time. For those who are staying, welcome to our double feature of a theory video. We're going to be talking about what I said earlier, and then also, is Jade a cannibal? We're going to get to the bottom of it. The short explanation of this theory is that Floyd and Jade killed their siblings. The longer explanation is Floyd and Jade had many siblings, and either 1, they passed away due to other factors, or 2, the ny'alls directly took care of their siblings. Most of the times I've seen this though, I've seen people lean more towards the ny'alls having done it. I can't find who exactly started this theory, or even if it was one person that did, but given the main catalyst for this theory comes from Floyd's Vignette, I think it's safe to assume that's when this theory probably popped up for the first time. That would have been around March 31st, 2020. Yeah, it's been around for a while. So what's the evidence? Well, for starters, both Jade and Floyd have a violent streak. I know we think of Floyd as the violent one, but they both are. They absolutely both are. Floyd loves threatening violence, and I don't think it's far off to think that they're probably capable of killing. In Harveston Sledathon, when the boys are talking about family, Jade says the following. There are 5 in my family at present, including myself, Floyd, our parents, and our grandmother. Apple replies, at present? Oh, sorry, let me redo that. At present? And God. I really need to warm up with the southern accent. Anyway, Jade confirms, correct. This implies that there used to be more people in their family and they've now passed on. When Floyd and Jade chat at the end of Floyd's dorm uniform vignette, Jade says, I'm glad I chose you as my partner when we were but little elvers, to which Floyd responds, I'm glad we survived together too. Which, that's an interesting statement. I mean, it's like, huh? But it also implies that Jade only teamed up with Floyd for survival and no one else. And this line does suggest that there were, at some point, other siblings. Otherwise, Jade wouldn't pick Floyd as a partner because there wouldn't be other options. Jade's language implies that there were other options, but Floyd was who he decided on. It wasn't he only had Floyd to partner up with, you know? There's also an interesting point that people make from terrorist trending. When they're talking about ghostly encounters in the Coral Sea in Jade's vignette, it's mentioned both siblings have had instances where they've seen what they thought was their twin, but turned out it wasn't. These doppelgangers could have easily been the ghosts of their siblings who didn't survive. Now, this theory isn't just fueled by the game's text, but people also point to real-life facts about moray eels. Female eels can lay like thousands of eggs at once. These eggs and then larvae struggle to stay alive in the open ocean. It's not the most hospitable place in the world, so pairing up would be a good survival tactic. All these things together lead people to one conclusion. Jade and Floyd murdered their other siblings for survival. But what's the evidence against this? I think for starters, we need to address the fact that there's, well, facts we can't dispute. We can't dispute the violent streak and the threats of violence. That's a cold hard fact along with the real life stuff about eels. The only thing we can really say in opposition to the eel facts, like the real animal, is that we don't know how much of the ny'all's biology is based on real moray eels. Like, they're eel mermen, their biology may not be a 1-to-1. Not to mention, although Jade and Floyd are scary, we don't know if they're truly capable or even willing to kill. For the at-present line from Sledathon, I do want to point out there could be a chance he's referring to his grandfather and not other siblings. After all, he mentions his grandmother, but not his grandfather. It could be referencing his grandfather passing away and not necessarily other siblings. But, like I mentioned, the dorm uniform vignette lines do imply there were other siblings. But it's an assumption, and although I'm not sure how strong I feel it is, you could argue that we don't know for sure if Jade meant to imply there were others, or if this is just something players picked up on, and there's not actually anything there. In Floyd's vignette, there's nothing to suggest that they were the cause of their siblings' deaths. Assuming there were siblings, but honestly, I kinda think there were. They're only grateful they survived together. There's nothing they say here to insinuate they took down the competition or something. That's just pure conjecture. Is there motivation for them to kill their siblings? Perhaps. But we just don't know, and the idea they did comes from other things. They themselves make no hint at it, not here and not from anything else from what I remember. We also don't know if the ghost stories were just that. Ghost stories. The twins are mischievous, so it's not exactly out of the realm of possibility that they were just straight up lying and this stuff never happened. Honestly, it also wouldn't even surprise me if Jade really did talk to Floyd and Floyd just decided to gaslight him about it because he thought it'd be funny. Which honestly, God, it's giving the vibes of, giving your dad's number to some creep at the bar, and then the creep from the bar calls the phone number, and the dad is like, this isn't funny, she died 15 years ago, this very night, or something like that. Like, that's the vibes it's giving. But anyways, this theory requires a lot of looking in between the lines, but is this a case of actually doing that, or is this nothing but vague statements and making a conclusion based off of coincidences? Now that we've discussed one theory, let's move on to one tangentially related. This theory is both a subcategory of the Jade and Floyd killed their siblings theory, but it's also kind of its own thing. Unlike the other theory, we can actually find a conclusive answer for this one as of now, which honestly is very exciting. I feel like that never happens. Now please never release more information, Yana. But anyways, I'm not sure when this started. The earliest it could have come up was when the least favorite foods were revealed, since Jade's least favorite food is conger eel. I also think he has a voice line about it, but I'm not sure where it is, so I may have hallucinated it. Who knows? But the theory is basically that Jade and Floyd ate their siblings, or at least Jade did. If I'm being honest, I don't see this angle very often, nor do I see it unless someone's like, wait, who said Jade is a cannibal? I don't know if this theory is more prevalent in other circles, or maybe it's prevalent period, and I just don't engage with people who are talking about it. I honestly don't know. Jade's eaten eel before. That's a fact. Like, his least favorite food is listed as conger eel. In relation to the dead siblings theory, because Jade has eaten eel before, is it so far-fetched to think he could eat other moray eels, or even eat his other siblings? Morays are opportunistic hunters, meaning if there's a good chance, they'll go for it. It's not extremely common as far as we know, but cannibalism has been observed with moray eels. Also, I saw a video of a moray eel attacking and trying to eat a shark. The shark escaped at the last minute, but yeah, morays do not fuck around with food. The fact that Jade has eaten eel before makes people wonder if he did kill his siblings, maybe he ate them? Maybe even Floyd did too, but as far as I can remember, Floyd's never had a line about eating eel. So, what's our counter-arguments? We can't dispute Jade has eaten eel before. He has. We can't dispute it for Floyd though, because as far as we know, he hasn't eaten eel. And like the previous theory, we don't know how much of real moray eel biology applies to the Tweels. While yes, real morays can eat other morays, like I mentioned, it's rare and we don't have any confirmation Jade has eaten other morays. Conger eels are certainly eels, but I think this raises the question of, does it count as cannibalism when there's this degree of separation? And to be honest, I think it doesn't. Like, let me put it this way. Would it be cannibalism for a cheetah to eat a domestic house cat? I think most people would say no. And they have kind of the same degree of separation that these eels do. And if that's not cannibalism, then I think Jade eating a conger eel wouldn't count as cannibalism as well. And if we look at the technical definition, we'll find that no, it's not cannibalism. The technical definition from Wikipedia defines it as a member of one species eating another member of the same species. Conger eels and morays belong to the same order, Anguilliformes, but their suborder and families are entirely different. They are not the same species, although they are both types of eel. By a technical definition, no, Jade is not a cannibal for eating conger eels. He's still weird as hell for eating another eel, especially since both of those eel types can live amongst each other, but he's not a cannibal for it. Although we can disprove Jade being a cannibal, it's harder to make a conclusive answer for Jade and Floyd killing their siblings. Toberso loves dropping random lore bits about the Tweels that raise more questions than answers, so honestly, I think we're never going to know. I'm personally fine with that though, I love when people commit to the bit, but I'll let you guys decide what side of the argument you want to take. And with that, I'll see you guys later! Thank you everyone for watching, and a very special thank you to my channel members and Twitch subs. Your support helps me to continue to make these videos. If you'd like early access to my videos, consider becoming a channel member. Patrons and Ko-fi members can get my scripts early before I record them. I livestream over on Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Thanks again guys, and I'll see y'all later.